Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. This is the morning show. I'm Spencer Israel. JC Parets is with us. Steve Strazza is with us. Alfonso de Pablos is with us. You're with us in the chat. Everyone watching on YouTube, everyone watching on Twitter, everyone watching on stockmarkettv.com. Hope you all had a great weekend. Mine was all right. Bitcoin had a great weekend. I'll tell you, it had a good weekend. Bitcoin had a great weekend. We will talk about that and more. Right now, today's guest, Michael Antonelli. He'll be on the show at 9 o'clock. I'm very excited for that. We'll have Sam Gatlin stop by for a few as well. And, yeah. Sound good? Sound good, yeah? All right, if you're watching us on YouTube, do me a solid. Hit the thumbs up. I would appreciate that. It does help us in the eyes of the algorithm. And let's bring on Steve. Let's bring on JC, and let's talk. Right? Should we dance?
All right.
Hey guys. Happy Monday.
Happening?
Everybody have a good weekend.
You know, it's mornings like this that make me sort of look back and reflect. And I could just think of so many examples of people just like going out of their way, spending so much time, complaining about Bitcoin, telling everybody how stupid people buying Bitcoin are. Hours and hours of Twitter spaces, just constant bombardment of nonsense and and making them very upset for years now. And here we are with Bitcoin at all-time highs. So I can't imagine how difficult it must be to have to wake up in the morning and be one of these sociopaths who has spent so much time over the years complaining instead of just embracing it and participating in it. I mean, I can't imagine how hard their lives must be. And I don't feel sorry for them at all. Fuck them, right?
Well,
I mean, but I think it's just a great lesson, right? Regardless of which side we're on, right? Obviously, we're all making a fortune and we're thrilled and all that stuff is great. But let's say you're not, and let's just say you are. That's not the point. The point is look back and reflect and be aware of what's happening around you. Because we're going to see this sort of stuff again. And I got to tell you, I'm going to do my very best that next time we're in one of these situations, I'm going to do my best to be in the situation we're in right now. Grateful, complaining that we didn't own enough. Those are the kinds of complaints that I want to make. Should have owned more, right?
Well, everybody had a decision about 10 years ago because back then we were all equals when it came to crypto. Everybody felt like they missed it. Remember that, JC? The early days, you felt like you missed it.
Yeah.
It's been running the whole time. So you had a decision to make back in the day to miss it again in the future or to get on board and not miss it. So I don't really feel bad for people. This has been around cycle after cycle after cycle now. It's been the highest beta, top performing asset. We've seen it over and over. So if you're not in now, you're probably a never crypto person. And I mostly just feel bad.
I don't at all.
There are always going to be those people who just don't.
What do you feel bad about? I don't understand what you feel bad about.
Because I think that this was, for a lot of people, a way to maybe move them from one class to another. This was a truly, revolutionary wealth generating asset class. And this kind of stuff doesn't come around every day. It doesn't even come around every 10, 20 years, right? So to miss the boat on something that big, I think sucks, to be honest.
Well, we are grateful for those kinds of people who make poor decisions. And they're going to continue to make poor decisions. So it's up to us as investors to take advantage of that. Listen, I don't necessarily know that it's too late. I still think that we're probably in early cycles. Speculators are the most short they've ever been in Bitcoin. Short sellers are the most short. Speculators are the most short ever they've ever been in Ethereum. So when I see that, it doesn't scream frothiness. It doesn't scream end of cycle. No. It means it probably has legs. So I think there's still room here, number one. Number two, I'm hearing a lot of chatter of the whole coiners. That's going to be a thing.
Fuck is that?
You don't know what a whole coiner is?
Mm-mm.
Well, a whole coiner is somebody who owns an entire Bitcoin.
Wow.
Right. So like in the old days, people used to say, oh, he's a millionaire. Right. And now
Yo.
these days, like a millionaire doesn't mean anything. Like if you could be a millionaire and still be kind of broke, these days. Right.
But-
So like in the future, it's going to be like, oh, look at that guy. He's a whole coiner. Or like,
he's
oh,
only-
my cousin is a whole coiner,
But it's really not a flex like that. You're 100,000 there. You're not a millionaire.
It's not so much like a
being
flex,
whole
but
coiner.
like it's like oh my god, my rich uncle, he's a whole coiner. It's just like a thing. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? It's just like a
Fine.
thing. Yeah.
I think for most people, you don't own the coins at all. You want to be one of the largest holders of IBIT. That would be cool. But a whole coiner, just buy the IBIT. If they have trusted equity vehicles by the largest financial institutions in the world that you can express a bullish thesis in the exact same way you could on a crypto platform, I think you go to BlackRock. So you could do
I'll
that.
take the other side of that. I wore my Cardano t-shirt on
crazy.
purpose here. You like my Cardano? How many
Yeah, I do.
people are rocking the Cardano HODL t-shirts? Huh?
So
Come
I'll
on.
be honest, I had no idea. Like I couldn't pick that logo out of a crowd and be like, "That's Cardano." So that's pretty cool.
Cardano was probably I shouldn't say it was my biggest trade ever in crypto, but like one of my greatest trades ever was in Cardano. The ADA.
early days, right? That was a couple cycles ago. No,
ADA is ADA.
yeah, 88. Yeah.
Well, Ada was like some like mathematician lady. I don't want to be like, super ignorant here, so I don't want to like misspeak. But like for you like hardcore math nerds, like this is so hardcore. I don't even fully know the story, but Ada is like a female mathematician, like way back in the day or something like that. Pretty sure.
Okay. I used to go to a candy shop called Ada's.
All right, that sounds right. Can we go to the state of the markets, please? Because we got
Yeah,
things moving.
yeah. I was going to say that there are always going to be people that think Bitcoin is a Ponzi scheme that are asking,
Hey,
what is the
I hope
end?
it is. Ponzi schemes are great for a long time.
What is the end game here? I saw a post for the weekend with Bitcoin. Can someone explain the end game as if that matters, right?
A beach house for me and my family.
That's a great end game for JC, right? Yeah.
These beach houses aren't buying themselves.
If you need an explanation now, it's been 15 years, right? Over 15 years. So, I mean, if you still need someone to explain to you after all this time, then don't know what to tell you.
Can we please?
Yeah, sure.
I got it. Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this morning we have the Dow futures down about 0.25%. That's about 120 points to the downside, 44,475 for the Dow. You got S&P futures also down 0.25%. That's 16 handles, just below 6,300 for the S&P. NASDAQ 100 futures also down 0.25%. Very consistent today, 22,900 for the NASDAQ futures. 30-year bond futures also down about 0.25%, 112.5. Crude oil up 1.3%, 69 and change. Copper down 1.5%, 552. Gold flat at 33.60. Silver up 0.2%, 39.22. Wow, silver making serious moves with the VIX back up above 17. Shout out to the VIX back above 17. Over in funny money land, big moves over the weekend. You got Bitcoin 121,700 with a high last night. High last night was, what was the high last night? 123.2, 123,200 for Bitcoin last night. Right now, settling in at 121,700, up 2% on the day. Over in Ethereum land, you got Ethereum up 2.3%, 3,040. You got the old Solana, 166, up 3.5% on the day. Sui Louie up 13%, by the way, pushing 4. That brings the total crypto market cap. Mr. Spencer Israel, highest level ever for total crypto market cap, 3.75 trillion. How do you like me now? Huh? Come on.
I like you now. Yeah. Everybody like that, right?
In my head right now, Sui Louie.
Yeah, totally.
Oh, Louie. Gotta buy the Sui.
And then Cardano up 1.2%. Just to be consistent, if I'm wearing the t-shirt, you gotta at least bring it up. Bring up how they go, right?
Hold on, let's take a step back here. This woman's name was Ada Lovelace.
Boom. Mathematician, right?
It sounds like a porn star.
Oh, I mean, maybe. Nobody said anything that she wasn't.
Okay.
Ada
nice.
Lovelace.
Ada Lovelace. Yeah, that's a you can't even make that up.
Come on.
Yeah, that's a good one.
No.
So not an adult film star, actual mathematician.
I'm going the other way.
Dude, math nerds all over the world are being offended as we speak. We are offending math nerds that have looked up to this lady.
She
All right.
lived. She lived
I take it
200
back.
years ago.
200 years ago.
Oh, she was ahead of her time.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you know what?
And-
that kind of profession existed back then. It's one of the oldest
but
professions.
I didn't know they had those names like that back then.
It's hardcore.
It's
Ada
good.
Lovelace?
She was a trendsetter, pioneer of her time.
Sounds like a commercial for Spanish Fly, right?
JC, I think we have to talk about Solana. I'm all in, huge in it again. This will be now one of my largest positions through all equities, cryptos, everything.
Would
You're
this
right,
be
Brandon.
Solana Summer?
It's going to be a hot boy Solana summer. You already know. JB was on. I want to get him on the show. He is one of the best people in the world in the history of the market at explaining a bullish thesis. And the way that he explains kind of that bull thesis for Solana in 1 minute, I think it's just perfect. I want to get him on to talk about it. He's all bulled up. We're all bulled up. I think this is it. This is the entry. Get your VWAPs out, drop them, drop a WAP from the January 2025 all-time high, drop another WAP from just the pivot high here in May. We're taking them both out right here, right now. I don't think there's a better crypto that you can own for the long term. I plan to be in this for a while, like I was last cycle.
And you could very easily change your mind in a week.
Oh yeah, those VWAPs will work in the same way to the downside. I think this is a high probability breakout at this point, considering the intermarket evidence.
All right, let's throw up. Let's get right to it. Throw up slide 2 there. This is it. How high can this funny money go?
Yo, I'm hot.
I think it could go higher. Right? 150? 150 is the level? Can you hear me, Spencer?
I hear you. Yeah, I hear you. I just like there's some crazy stuff happening outside my house right now. Like I think they're power washing my siding, so I'm gonna be here on mute. All right.
Well, you got to power wash. It's really important. Houses.
I don't know
should be
what's
power
going on
washed.
right now. I can't even see. The thing is blocking. I can't see what's going on.
I can't stop sweating, so that's kind of what I got going on. I just worked out way too hard this morning. You know how sometimes you get such a good workout in, you just keep sweating.
Dude, I can't even listen to your water aerobics. You're like a third of the age of everybody else in the pool, and you're complaining about that you worked your water aerobics too hard this morning. I can't with you.
I've been working it so hard, dude. My limbs are like jelly. Okay, I've been working it that hard. I went in the sauna this morning.
I can't even. I want to address on the chat. We got Rizwan saying, "Could JC stop saying over and over again? Funny money. Crypto is a serious thing in terms of an asset class."
Love it.
First of all, just because it's going up in value doesn't not making fake internet money. We are making so much real money in fake internet money. It is fantastic.
Yeah. But you could still have fun and make fun of things and buy funny things and make real money off those funny things. I think this is a great example.
Dude, when Fartcoin buys me that beach house, dude, some of the beach houses I'm looking at for the island I want to be on, $5 million for a single family home just to get the conversation started. Right. So this is what we're talking about here. So we need the funniest of money to get us there. Right.
I'm with you.
And then here's the deal. Also, let's remember that crypto is a joke in terms of asset classes.
Thank you.
It is a rounding error at best. We're here celebrating the fact that it just hit $3.75 trillion in market capitalization. It may as well be zero.
Yep.
Like $4 trillion and zero is the same thing. It doesn't matter. Every single cryptocurrency in the world can go to zero tomorrow, and it won't matter to anyone who matters, right? It's irrelevant. It is a rounding error at best. So when we talk about this real asset class, that is a lie. This is not a real asset class. It is nothing. It is less than nothing. Zip, zilch, nada, zero, irrelevant. Can disappear tomorrow. Won't matter. Now, with that being said, we're very long. We're making a lot of money, and we're thrilled about it. But we don't have to like pretend that it's like this like new huge thing. Like it doesn't matter at all. It doesn't matter. At all.
I totally agree with you. Facts only out of you this morning.
Facts only. It's just math.
Totally. It's a joke. number-wise, by any measure. It's a joke. We talked late last week, right? And I said it's really incredible. It's impressive. The flows that they're seeing, the popularity of these funds. That's a different story, right? Absolute size, it's a joke. And I'll even go a step further. Like I love Rizwan. I love that sentiment from you. Obviously, all in. But here's the thing: it actually is a joke too. Not just the numbers. Like Fartcoin is a joke. Doge was a joke. Shiba Inu was a joke. Half of this is literally, that's why we call it funny money. So you have to separate, like, don't blur those lines. You can make money off of stuff that's an absolute joke. You don't have to drink the Kool-Aid per se, right? I've been bearish on certain things, DeFi, a lot of the security stuff, blockchain in general. Really not that bullish on those things. I'm not sitting here not buying Bitcoin because of it. So you don't have to drink the Kool-Aid and believe all of the crazy shit that people on Reddit are going to tell you about these cryptos. It doesn't have to be true. You could still make money off of them.
Yeah. So I think that a lot of people that miss this are just not having any fun. Like if people were just having some more fun, be like, oh, Fartcoin, haha, that's funny, let's buy it, right? If people thought more like that, they would have done better. But because they're like, oh, this Fartcoin, this is not part of my strategy, and how I grew up reading newspapers with my fingers, this is a bubble, just because you're too dumb or lazy to understand something doesn't make it a bubble. Let's just keep that in mind.
Jason,
I want to just go over. Can I go over a couple stats quick?
Yeah, but do you think that we're a bunch of weirdos in that way? Because like we're texting each other all day about the Fartcoin. I'm talking to you and Sean and Batnick and Patrick and Brian Lund about we're all.
Dude, Michael Nas is all over the Fartcoin. This is as TradFi bro as they come.
But we're the weirdos that we think this is normal. I think.
Well, I think we're just numb to it at this point.
Yeah.
Like for example, like the stocks where the company has an animal in the name of the company is extra bullish in this environment. Things like SoundHound or Datadog, right? Like if there's an animal in the name of the company, we're going to buy extra amount of those shares, right? Like that's funny.
And it's also just a tried and true bull market strategy.
I mean, it's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? It's just what it is. All right, fun facts. You ready? We could be about to hit $100 billion in IBIT this month, according to a one Eric Balchunas, fan favorite, friend of the show. Recent inflows, $88 billion after the overnight rally. It's only 1.5 years old, the IBIT, which is the Bitcoin ETF. It's now the 20th largest ETF in the United States. It's the 7th biggest for BlackRock, and it's their #1 most profitable ETF. To quote the great Eric Balchunas, and I quote, unfreaking believable. Unfreaking believable is the Eric Balchunas quote.
He's great. Listen to him on Compound last week. I don't think people make fun of Larry Fink enough for this. Like this is their big growth driver now at BlackRock. 3 years ago, did you hear what this man was saying about?
It was
Bitcoin?
a Ponzi scheme a couple years ago, right?
Come on, dude. He's so rich. It's hilarious.
I know, but like shout out right for being open-minded and changing his mind, or was he just playing the fools all along?
Didn't he always know that they were going to be in there, right?
Yeah, probably. Maybe so he was just playing the media for the scumbags that they are,
making Wall Street happy while he did it, right?
Yeah. Good for him. Good for him. Shame on you for thinking that was legit. All right. I want to talk about a couple of things. Here's an interesting one. Slide 3, please, if you will, my good man. Chartmaster Flex, Fonzarelli out in Scotland. Fonzarelli in Scotland. They got Venezuelans taking over Scotland. Can you believe that shit? Can you believe that? The Venezuelans. How many Venezuelans are in Scotland right now? One? You think there's more than one? I'll take the under.
He toured the Highlands in Scotland this weekend. Went to
Dude, are you hungover, Fonz, from all that scotch? Dude, the scotch from the Highlands.
He swam with the Loch Ness Monster.
Dude. All right. So there are grown adults out there who are betting that the orange line is not going to do the exact same thing that the black line is already doing. There are grown adults that are actually making that bet out there. How do you feel? So let me just back up a second, then I'll ask Strazza how you feel. So what, MicroStrategy owns like 60 billion in Bitcoin or so ish, right? The company's worth twice that, right? So the stock itself, the market cap is double what the net asset value is. So if you are into such distractions and arbitrary measures of valuation as net asset value can be, this sort of thing, might present itself as an opportunity where you can go ahead and buy Bitcoin and short MicroStrategy to take advantage of that arbitrage. For those of us who have been doing this long enough, we think that that is a foolish idea to be shorting MicroStrategy. Not historically the best of ideas. But there are grown adults who actually do think that this is a good trade. I do not. Mr. Steve Strazza, how do you feel about shorting MicroStrategy here with some of these other grown adults?
Absolutely not. That's a never. However,
Never.
in the future,
You've shorted it before. You were
No.
short like 3 months ago.
never for this environment. You can't
Got it.
step out and short MicroStrategy. I was shorting MicroStrategy back in April, sir. March, actually. So
Successfully so, if I remember
Yeah.
correctly.
yeah, then I flipped it. Hasn't been that great. Actually started lagging the other Bitcoin stocks or crypto stocks. But I do think a time will come where this isn't going to work anymore for MicroStrategy. And times aren't going to be like they are right now. And I'll short this thing to zero when that day comes.
So you think that this is definitely a zero one day?
Yeah, I do. I really do.
So you
I
don't
think
think
it's
there's
almost-
a MicroStrategy put? Tom Lee's going out there talking about how there's a MicroStrategy put now. Too big to fail.
Dude, there's a MicroStrategy put until there's not, and it's going to blow a hole in Bitcoin one day. This is now.
And when that happens, we're going to buy Bitcoin that day. That's still the trade.
MicroStrategy is creating a systemic risk in this beautiful, new and growing market, and I think that sucks. And to a certain extent, like, shame on them. That's enough. Yeah, no, and I think this will be the type of thing that, JC, when it does go to zero, all your smart friends are going to be like, "Oh, it's so obvious," right? But nobody wants to say it today. This doesn't work. It's a house of cards.
So this just in, Michael Saylor has announced that Strategy has acquired an additional 4,225 BTC for approximately $472 million, right around just under $112,000 per BTC. And as of July 13th of 2025, according to Michael Saylor, they are, and I quote, hodling, HODL, hodling 601,550 Bitcoin, acquired for approximately 42 billion, currently worth 71 billion. Cool, $30 billion in profits for Mr. Saylor. Not bad.
Have you seen this chart? Slide 5 or new slide 5. This chart is 2 weeks old now, but it's irrelevant to this conversation. It's showing the Bitcoin treasuries in public companies, right? So obviously you have MicroStrategy, huge outlier, right? But the list is getting longer every week of companies buying Bitcoin and adding it to their balance sheet, right? There's a lot of Bitcoin out there. It's owned by a lot of treasuries.
Tesla's got like 1.4 trillion, something like that. Billion, something like that.
Dude,
they got 11,000 as of a month ago or 2 weeks ago. So
this is going to work tremendously as long as prices keep marching higher.
well, yeah.
But then ask somebody what happens when Bitcoin's down 40-50%.
Yo ass better call
I would say it probably
No,
depends on the
no,
rest
they're
of your
gonna be
balance
getting the
sheet,
call.
right, Steve?
They won't be the ones calling. They'll be the ones answering the phone.
Steve,
Can we
I was going to say it depends on the rest of your balance sheet. Tesla, you're probably fine.
Tesla will be fine, Spencer, of course, but a company who this is
Meta
business.
Planet Inc. Probably not so good. I just
can we just touch on
and
the
more coming to
TradFi,
market
before Michael Antonelli comes in? I got TradFi sitch.
Yeah.
Let's hard pivot to TradFi. Right. So, we want to take advantage of people's bad decisions, right? Strazza here, being a good old boy, feels sorry for people who don't own Bitcoin. Me, I do not. I'm thankful for humans and their poor decision making. I'm incredibly grateful. To quote the great Charlie Munger, if people weren't wrong so often, we wouldn't be so rich. So that quote has stuck with me. Shout out Charlie Munger, one of the great closet technicians of our generation. Can you throw up slide 4, please? Speaking of poor choices, the stock market is ripping. S&P's all-time highs, NASDAQ all-time highs. However, the positioning among asset managers and hedge funds is incredibly low, and they have not been buying into the strength in the stock market. Love to see it. Steve Strazza, I know you feel bad for the no-coiners out there, while I do not. To be clear, if I haven't made that clear enough, I do not feel bad for those people. How about these folks right here, these asset managers and hedge funds that are not participating in this upside in the stock market since the spring? Do you feel bad for these folks?
I feel less bad for them. They made a decision. Right.
And the no-coiners, and what happened to the no-coiners? They didn't make a decision?
No, because I think most of the people that miss crypto are people that are managing their own wealth, right? You have to make a decision in life. Do you want to give this to somebody else and track the indexes? Or do you want to try to do it yourself and outperform? It's a really difficult decision for people to make. And guess what? Most people are better off just tracking the indexes and letting somebody else do it, right? But if you're going to do that on your own, the pressure and the regret that you have to deal with over and over and over again, cycle after cycle after cycle, man, that wears on people. Just talk to, older folks who've been doing this and trying to catch stuff and trying to time their own portfolio. Some people can do it really well, but if you miss something like Bitcoin, I think that's going to bother you forever.
So you feel bad, you feel sorry for the no-coiners. I do not. You don't feel as sorry for these asset managers and hedge funds. I definitely do not.
I don't feel sorry for them, no.
Do you agree with me that in this massive divergence where these folks are obviously incredibly wrong, it sets up a chase into the end of the year, chase and returns? Strazza, do you agree with that?
Yeah, dude, and that's what I care about. When I see this chart, this is incredibly bullish. That's dry powder, baby. Let's go.
Also, now all of a sudden, sentiment sounds like you're interested in the sentiment data, huh, Strazza?
Certain sentiment data for sure.
Look, how about this one? And then we'll bring up Michael
up.
Antonelli. How about if you go down the cap scale and look at the Commitment of Traders report, which is where this data comes from every Friday from the CFTC. If you look at the Russell 2000 futures, they are actually net short. These asset managers and hedge funds actually net short the Russell 2000. Steve Strazza, do you feel bad for those folks
that are short the Russell 2000?
Yeah,
no,
do you
I
feel
think
bad for those?
They've done pretty well, haven't they?
I do not feel bad for them at all. Now, one more thing. I want to give a shout out to the homie Macro Charts. Is helping me plan my trip to Mallorca, taking the family out to Mallorca. You should go there, Strazza. You don't have any kids and you have very little responsibilities.
Beaches, right?
You should go to Mallorca. I'm going to take the family out there. You should probably go to Ibiza, not Mallorca, but that's another story. So I'm going to go to Macro Charts helping me plan my trip with the family out there. Macro Charts, a great quote, said, "Never in history have we ever seen a major top with this much short interest in the Russell 2000 futures."
Love that. It matters.
Shout out Macro Charts.
Yeah, I love them. JC, go back and tell me what happened in Q4, late year in the market, 2022, 2023, 2024.
Yeah, they bottom, baby. They bottom.
They were ripping. Big chase. Last 3 years now, 22, 23, 24. You're set up for the same exact thing out here this year.
Yeah, I believe it is called a paper chase. Chase.
Dressing them windows.
The paper chase, chasing that paper so they can, I believe the proper nomenclature is to make it rain.
The chase is real.
Yeah, the chase is real. All right, shall we? Michael Antonelli, special guest today. We're going to get some perspective from a real financial advisor, folks. A real life financial advisor in here, in the house. Best morning show in finance. How do you like it?
And he sent over a slide 7. Here we go.
Christo said,
Jay, we've been friends for a long time. Make the call.
I mean, this is pretty professional, guys.
Nice show you got going here.
Mr. Antonelli.
Yes, we are here.
We are here, my friends. We are here. Bitcoin all-time highs. Stock market all-time highs. The people aren't believing it. People are angry. And I'm here for it, Michael. I'm here for it. I got all the time in the world for it. How about you?
I swear, like one of my favorite things about you, JC, there's a lot. I love everything about what you do. One of my favorite things is kind of the disdain you have for people who don't like to make money, right? Like we're here to make money. I think that's one of the goals of this whole thing. And people who overthink it, people who use politics, people who stick out of the market, like I don't like, let them do their thing. Let's help people make money.
You know, I think you and I might have a little too much common sense sometimes, Michael. Our biggest flaw is just assuming that people remember why they're investing in the first place. Because as far as I'm concerned, why is it that you're investing is to make money?
Yeah.
And if you're investing for any other reason other than to make money, you should probably see your therapist.
JC, I have a great take for you to start the show off. My event here with you. I got a great take. You ready for this? I demoed this one, and I think it's right. You've heard the term smart money and dumb money, right? We've heard that before. We've heard that retail is dumb money. We've heard that institutional smart money. Here's my take. I think that they can both be smart money and dumb money at the same time. I don't think smart and dumb is really like lasered in on one group. But I'm going to say this about retail, which I think is more of the audience maybe you and I speak to. I think retail, and our friend Sam Rose said this the other day, retail is starting to become more the smart money. And I'm going to tell you why. It's because of people like you and me and Batnick and Carlson and Morgan Housel and Doug Bonaparte. And we are helping retail understand the mistakes that are commonly made, and we are educating them. Such an incredible level. Shows like this, my blog, books, all these things. We are helping retail be the smart money, and I really like that. I think that's unique to this era that we live in.
You know what you bring up a great point that never before in the history of finance or investing have we ever had such a great community of traders and investors sharing ideas, informing one another, regularly publishing books. Morgan Housel's book, The Psychology of Money, unbelievable book.
Yep.
It's not like this, and you know what I love about Morgan? I mean, I love a lot of things about Morgan Housel, but it's not like his book had these earth-shattering revelations and these this huge discovery. At the end of the day, most of the stuff in that book I had heard before, right? Not all of it, but a lot of that stuff was just repeating. But the way he says it, the way he explains things that a lot of us have kind of already heard and known is better than anybody else on the planet. I mean, absolutely nails it. Everybody out there, go read Psychology of Money. What Michael Antonelli is talking about is spot on. But the global communication network that we have between the blogs and we have on Twitter, I mean, this is where we all met on Twitter, and it is really a beautiful community. And I'll tell you one other thing. I've been on the Twitter every day for 15, 16, 17 years now. Holy shit, 17 years now, every day. And what's happened, unfortunately, is that a lot of us and even some newcomers have forgotten, the origins of this, where we would go in and we would share our thoughts. We would praise others that are also putting out good work and just kind of sharing and communicating. Over the years, even some of the OGs just forgot that. I don't know what made them so angry. It's a political thing. Like, we weren't talking about politics in 2008, 2009, 2010. We were looking for trades. We were wondering where the happy hour was, or the next dinner. That's what we were interested in, not complaining about politics, not calling other people out for bad decision making. Like if you're out there on Twitter calling other people out by name, you're an asshole. Right. And we all see it, and we're all going to avoid you. So, if you're one of those and you're wondering why none of your friends want to talk to you anymore, it's because you're an asshole. Right. Remember where we started. Remember where we came from. And I think a lot of people either never knew how things were or have forgotten. But what you're saying, Michael, is really the core of all of this and what makes all of this so special. And I'm just thrilled to be a part of it.
Now, remember, everybody watching it, and JC and you live in 2025, you live in an attention economy, okay? So your most valuable resources is probably not time or money. It might be your attention. There are billion, trillion-dollar algos that exist to solely capture your attention. So when you're watching a show like JC, or you're reading a blog like mine, or you're engaging with Morgan Housel's book, you're giving your most valuable resource to somebody. So make sure that you're smartly doing it. When you go to Twitter, avoid the BS, avoid the anger, avoid this misery, avoid the pessimists who are always negative. Spend your attention on people who will help you grow not only your persona, but your money. It's an attention economy. Make sure you are guarding that attention.
One more thing you said about retail investors and institutional investors about how they're dumb money and the smart money. I agree wholeheartedly that just because they're retail doesn't make them dumb money. Just because they're institutions doesn't make them smart money. In fact, I would argue that the institutions are just as dumb as the retail, except they have a lot more money, which makes them a lot more dangerous, right? So it's at the end of the day, it's not retail investors or institutional investors. It's the humans. It's the humans that make poor choices, particularly when stress levels are elevated, and obviously when there's money involved and even politics involved. Stress levels get elevated and humans make poor choices, and I'm here for it. And my job is to take advantage of this, of these poor choices that they're making. Right? That's how I look at it.
Decision making is everything. Investing, honestly, like think about it. Whatever you did in April of this year, whatever you did in 2020, whatever you did in 2022, that's really like the whole ball game, right? And if you get obsessed with politics, you get obsessed with negativity. JC and I will be here to help smart people capitalize off that. Like we are here to help people understand that the bad decision makers is our alpha, really, and 100%. That exists every day. Like that's why charts and that's why data can be so powerful, because we're trying to remove that decision making, that emotion.
I want to give you some credit here. You're coming in hot. And you bring the chart that you bring today is what is referred to as the greatest fundamental analyst on Wall Street.
Yep. I agree. It is. I can't believe how good it is, to be quite honest.
Bring it out.
Yeah, put this up, because I can't think of a chart that does a better job of kind of leading the market.
Yeah, and let's talk about why too. Throw it up, Chart Master Flex. No, not that one.
Nope, not that one. That one. Yep. You want to go? Or you want me to go?
Please, by all means.
So this has been called the greatest strategist on Wall Street, which again, I'm a strategist on Wall Street, so I'm going to take this with a grain of, not too insulting. But so what you're looking at is the following: an equal weight discretionary over equal weight consumer staple. So why equal weight? We're trying to remove the impact of like the big one. So equal weight consumer discretionary sector over equal weight staple. So if the numerator is growing, right, the line will go up. If the denominator is growing, the line will go down. What you're looking at is how it acted since kind of 2020 through the past couple market cycles. It peaked. This ratio peaked in November 21 before the sell-off in 2022. It bottomed in July of 22, which I think JC might call July the bottom, but a lot of people call October the bottom of that year. It also peaked in February.
We like it when people are wrong, Michael.
Yeah. It peaked in February of this year before the sell-off, and it bottomed in April this year during the sell-off. Why is it doing this? Like, what is this saying? What it's saying is risk on or is risk off? It's the purest indicator of, is the world buying risky consumer discretionary stocks, or are they buying safe consumer staple stocks? And look how well it does. Now, past performance is no guarantee of future results. We know that, but it's done really, really well because it's taking out all the noise. It's equal weighting the sector that matters the most to the U.S. economy. That's consumer discretionary. We buy things. That's what we do. This is a consumer-based economy. Tech is important, yes. Financials, sure. But this ratio is saying, are people buying risky things or not? And look how well it's done. And the reason I call that out is, and JC will probably weigh in on this, is as long as it was above the old market highs, above the old cycle highs, I liked it, right? I was like, I feel comfortable. When it dipped below, I was like, okay, maybe I need to get more defensive, but it defended that level pretty quickly. So to me, JC, I brought this, last time I was on the show, I brought this to you. And it's what I look at almost every day.
So let's talk about what's happening here from a market mechanics standpoint. So first of all, we're looking at the equal weight consumer discretionary ETF relative to the equal weight consumer staples. As Antonelli said so eloquently, this is a consumer-based economy. When things are good, consumers are spending their discretionary income in automobiles, retailers, home construction, right? These are the types of areas where consumers spend their discretionary income. As opposed to consumer staples, things we're going to be buying no matter how bad things are. Americans are still going to be smoking cigarettes and, drinking beers and eating potato chips and toilet paper and, laundry detergent. Like those are your consumer staples. So think about it from a asset manager's perspective, particularly the mutual fund managers that are really moving these markets. This is the market, whether you like it or not. As much as the growth of ETFs has come to be, at the end of the day, it's the mutual funds that are still moving things. And in most cases, these are long-only funds. They can't go into cash. They can't short stocks. They got to be fully allocated at all times. So when you're seeing these portfolio managers moving towards consumer discretionary at a much faster rate than consumer staples, historically that happens in an environment that stocks are doing well. When you flip that on its head and these mutual fund managers are buying those consumer staples at a much higher rate than they're doing so with the consumer discretionary, that tends to happen when stocks are under pressure. Because let's remember how these folks get paid. They don't get paid to make money. They get paid to outperform the S&P 500. So the way they do that in down markets is by overweighting the consumer staples that are going to hold up better during down times. And in good times, they're going to be underweighting those consumer staples, because why would you need cigarettes and potato chips when you could be buying, Amazon and consumer discretionary stocks? So, this to me, I don't know who made up the term. This is the best fundamental strategist on Wall Street, but I'm going to go with it. I have a hard time disagreeing with that.
I think it might have been my friends at Strategist, Todd Sohn, that whole group, Chris Farrow, and those guys, I think, may have come up with that title.
I think you might be right, actually. I think you might be right.
I agree. And I just want to let everybody know who's watching. Again, as a strategist, you're just looking for kind of indicators that are telling me about what JC is saying. Do people want risky stocks or do they want safe stocks? And there's lots of things you could look at, obviously, but I want to look at consumer. I want to look at equal weight. Some people look at the cap weight version of this. I don't think it's as good of a measure as equal weight, but I do think that it's something you should put on your screen, glance at it every now and then, and say, look, is the temperature rising or falling in the stock market? And this is a good way to do that.
Another thing I want to mention, the discretionary sector on a market cap weighted basis gets a lot of attention because Amazon's like a quarter of the entire index, and Tesla's like 14, 15%. So it's very top heavy. But I'll tell you what, you're going to see the same thing in the consumer staple. So Amazon, 22% of discretionary, Tesla's 18% of discretionary. But I'll tell you what, if you look at staples, you're still looking at super top heavy. Costco, 10.5%, Walmart close to 10%, Procter & Gamble 9%. So it's not just consumer discretionary that's top heavy. You're seeing that in the consumer staples also, by the way. They're just as guilty. So equally weighting them and looking at a broad approach, I think is really valuable. And to your point, Michael, looking at the market cap weighted version of this ratio is helpful. This one might be more helpful. I think it gets back to one of the things that we always say. What's the answer? The answer is both. The answer is both. You're getting different information, similar information, but different information. I don't necessarily know that it makes one so much better than the other, as much as both of them together are incredibly valuable, is really how I look at it. And gun to my head, which one's more important? I agree with you. I'll take this one.
Yeah, and just to wrap up my thoughts on this, as a strategist, look, if it breaks back below that the previous bull market high, that no turning high, maybe I start to say, is there something I'm missing? Is there a shift underway that I don't know about? But if it continues and it takes out the old February of this year's high, I mean, that's going to be a really powerful signal. So it's something that I think you have to kind of put into perspective versus other kind of peaks and valleys. But it does a great job of leading. Look at these call out dates. It's not lagging the moves. It's actually leading the moves.
I got another good one for you, especially someone like yourself who talks to a lot of financial advisors, who are talking to a lot of clients. If you could throw up the new slide 2, guys, you pay attention to what's going on, Michael. And you got your ear to the ground. Throw up the new there you go, new slide 2. So these are the returns since the presidential election. And you and I were both there, watching people's heads exploding about how the market's going to fall apart because of Trump, and oh my God, and he's a criminal. And, whether that might be true or not, I have no idea. I've never met the guy. But the point is, people were very, very adamant. And you saw it in the positioning too. So it's not just angry people. You saw it in the positioning too. You continue to see it. The Gallup polls are showing liberals, 90% of liberals think the stock market's going to fall over the next 6 months, 90%, which is fantastic that we have such angry liberals out there, because for everybody who is short the market, those are guaranteed future buyers. So by all means, short away. But these are the returns since the election. Pretty good, Michael.
It's pretty good. I did for Baird. I do get a chance to speak to a lot of, like you said, our kind of retail customers. I get a chance to speak to big groups of them, and I spent almost all of last year saying look, don't let politics disrupt your investing. Try not to get so far into your kind of biases and views of the world that you miss out on stock market returns, and you're showing them right here. But April of this year, I bet everybody thought, oh, I was wrong. I was right. You know, he's bad for the market. I was right. But it really didn't last very long, right? It really didn't last very long at all. And that's what you have to know about the stock market. It's very good at figuring out what can happen and what can't happen. And it's very good at weeding out politics. So what the stock market says is, can this continue? Can this level of tariffs, can this stuff continue? And it said, no, it can't. The bond market said the same thing, and it bottomed. So I want everybody to know, watching, to not make that mistake. Try not to get so angry about politics and the world and biases and stuff like that you miss these kind of numbers, because otherwise you can't grow your wealth. Who wants to let politics stop you from growing your wealth and reaching goals and doing all the things that we want to do in our lives because you watch too much news? And that's it, JC. That's the answer. I just gave it to everybody. If you watch too much news, I think you will be a bad investor. I'm going to say that just flat out.
Yeah. And it doesn't make these news people bad people. Quite the opposite. As somebody who's done as much television and mainstream media as I have over the years, I've had almost all amazing experiences with these folks. These are people you want to hang out with at the bar, go to dinner with, really smart people. So they're not bad people. They're just playing a different game.
Yeah.
We're in the business of making money. And if you're in the news, you're only in the business of distracting the people that are trying to make make money.
You're just trying to get people to watch. Their job is to get people. I like a lot of these newscasts, Bloomberg, Wall Street Journal, CNBC. You and I, we engage with them places like Future Proof or in New York or whatever. Like, they're great people.
Or on the Twitter, we're just giving a shout out to Butchunas. He's the man.
Yeah, they just want to get you to watch. Right, their goal is to be like, hey, watch. This is our job, is to get you to watch. JC's job, my job, is to help investors kind of navigate tricky markets and to help them succeed. Like, that's what we're trying to do. And you get to opt into kind of whichever you want.
Let me ask you something, Michael. So, we've got a real life financial advisor here, guys. This is like real life. Not only are you a financial advisor, you talk to a lot of financial advisors, right? So like, you're like, you're fund the funds of, from the top, you see it all. What kinds of conversations, are clients calling in with? What kind of questions are they calling in with? What are the concerns you're seeing that out there? How are you addressing that? Very curious to hear what your thoughts are on all that.
Yeah, it's a great question. We have 1,400 advisors. We have like 250,000 clients. I talk to real people every day. Real advisors, real people. I'm not like some fake made up persona here. A lot of the questions that come from advisors and clients generally get generated by the news. Things like the national debt, things like the dollar, things like the tariffs and what might that mean. This new big bill that just got passed, JC. Like, what is in that new bill for me? Like, they're all questions that the normal everyday person has, and we try to navigate that, help them along the way, get them through difficult moments. But I would say from my perspective, the most frustrating questions are things like the national debt, right, JC? Because somebody who has a financial plan and who's on track for retirement and all these making money in the stock market, they're asking questions about things that are so esoteric and like they're so out there that it doesn't necessarily have a one-to-one impact on their portfolios. It's just something interesting to talk about. It's in the news, right? It's maybe their friends at the club mentioned it. Those kind of things tend to dominate conversations because when the stock market's at an all-time high, JC, here's a unique insight. When the stock market's at an all-time high, like it is now, people tend to worry about like random things, right? Because they're not worried about the market anymore, right? It's an all-time high. My account may be at an all-time high. I'm feeling better about the world. Then they shift gears to over things like over here, like maybe it's national debt, maybe it's the dollar, maybe it's Ukraine, Russia, maybe it's the Middle East, right? You tend to shift stuff over to the really loud stuff. And I think what's really smart about what you do is you try to just look at price, right? Price, we say price pays, right? Which I think is a great term. You try to look at price. I try to look at the market and try to filter out all that noise. We're looking at the same things, but we're just approaching it in a different way, right? I'm trying to remove the noise. You're over here saying, hey guys, stop with the noise. Focus on the price. But ultimately, when it boils down to it, most retail investors, so the average retiree or a 50-year-old or 40-year-old or 30-year-old, they really only have one question on their minds, JC, and that's, am I going to be okay? That's really like the number one when you boil it all down. Like, am I going to be okay? And in my role in our firm, we try to answer that kind of nonstop.
If there was something else that paid us, I would focus on that too.
Yeah.
But there isn't.
Yeah. Like if I could play for the Miami Heat, I would do that. Like, I mean, if I could, if I could play professional basketball, I'd do that.
Yeah. So no, you didn't get any phone calls for that.
No, didn't. I missed the draft day.
Yeah, I mean, Cubans don't play basketball, right? More of baseball. No, I think that gets forgotten a lot. You brought up a lot of things like government debt. and budget deficits. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
Right? Like clearly the market doesn't care about your budget deficits or like
It
your
knows.
federal debt. Like clearly the market has proven that it does not matter. That people get very upset because they think that the market should care. But at the end of the day, the market has proven that it cares about way more important things than what you think it should care about. That's the market laughing at you.
JC's spitting truth, guys. Anybody watching this, JC just spitting truth. You have to remember the stock market knows what the national debt is. It knows.
Yeah, it's not a
like
secret.
There's a clock in New York. It knows every single penny of it. So why spend a whole bunch of time focusing on stuff that's not helping you make money? I say this. This is my pinned tweet, JC. You probably see it. And this is true. I say pessimists sound smart, but optimists make money. That's my pinned tweet. And I think that is true certainly across the long run. But I think that's true because pessimists always try to find a way to say what can go wrong, where people like JC and I are asking ourselves something else, something unique. We're asking what can go right. That's what we're asking.
Yeah. You know, and asset prices do not move based on fundamentals, right? I don't know like who lied to you or made that up one day, but that is horse shit. We have the data. Valuations and prices have a 0.0 correlation over time. And Mr. Blutarski, 0.0. Fat, drunk, and stupid is no way to go through life. We know for a facts only, that asset prices move based on positioning. And in many cases, a lack thereof or a mispositioning, like we have in current markets where the prices are going up, but investors don't believe it. Investors are not participating in it. And so I think the chase is on, right? And it's not like, oh my God, over the last 3 months, these companies fundamentally are so different and valuations are so different. No, all these fools were selling their stocks and being short. And we had some of the most bearish sentiment of all time. And prices have ripped, not because fundamentals changed. They were just off sides, and they still are.
You have to remember, there's a reason why investing at all-time highs has generally been proven better than any other moment. That's because momentum is the most durable factor in the markets. Momentum is a durable factor. And number two, and I trafficked this world for a lot of my previous role when I came out of business school. Institutions who are out of the market have to get back in. They cannot sit on the sidelines any longer. Say they said to themselves, I'm going to sit out in April, I'm going to sit out in May. They can't. When the market starts hitting all-time highs, they can't sit out anymore. So JC's right. It's not the fundamentals shifting, it's that flows start to shift. Professional money managers say, okay, I can't stop. I can't wait out anymore. I got to get back into the market. And momentum starts to build on itself. Good times tend to stay good times. Bad times tend to end somewhat quickly. That's why the market does what it does, right? So remember, it's not like the news is shifting, because there was something called the Global Uncertainty Policy Index, which is maybe the dumbest index I've ever seen in my life. And when policy uncertainty spikes to its high, people are like, oh, I'm worried now. But if you were to correlate that with the market, it's like 08, the bottom in 08, the bottom in 2020, the bottom in April of this year. Like policy uncertainty spikes at the moment that this market bottoms. It's just like, you have to focus on the stuff that really moves markets.
I mean, no arguments for me. Listen, we got Michael Antonelli here, financial advisor extraordinaire. There's a lot of folks out there who need financial advice. I am one of them. I have a financial advisor, and I wouldn't know what I would do without them, because I don't know anything about 529s and tax loss harvesting and all these things. I don't know the first thing, but I've learned. So having a financial advisor, even if you're a professional in this business, which I've been for, I'm on year 23 now, I still need a financial advisor. I wouldn't know like I said, I wouldn't know what to do without them.
Doctors have doctors.
I'm sorry?
Doctors have doctors. Lawyers have lawyers.
Tiger Woods has a golf coach.
Tiger Woods has a swim coach.
Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, all had coaches. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. What kind of advice do you want to leave the folks with? Since we have you here, this is real value here. Yeah.
So you can always engage with me on Twitter, Bull and Baird. I write a blog called Bull and Baird for my company, Baird, which is a financial services company. The advice I want to give you is that seek out answers, but only answers from smart people, which means don't look for answers where there's none to be found. There's nobody out there that's going to tell you where the stock market will be a month or 2 months or 3 months. We just don't know. Okay. Anything can happen. Okay. Which is just accept that the world's chaotic. Seek answers from smart people like JC or me or Morgan House. Like we mentioned a bunch of them already, who are trying to help you navigate uncertainty in the moment using price or using behavioral psychology and finance. Seek those people out. Don't seek out the people who are out there writing about the end of the world, who said, follow my model, it'll make you money in AI trading. It's all garbage. Okay, smart people, you can do this. There are smart people all over Twitter. You're seeing two of them right now. Don't forget that there are some people out there that are trying to take advantage of you, and some people who are trying to help you. Find the helpers, and you'll find out that that they're good people at heart. Like JC's a good person. Like I'd have drink with them any day of the week. You'll find they're good people at heart. You'll find that they're honest with you about what they know and they don't know, and you'll find out that when you follow their product, the attention you're giving them is worth it in the end. So that's kind of my advice. And again, if you need anything from me or my company, you can find me online. I'd love to engage with all of you.
Antonelli, when are you coming out my way out to New York? What are you doing?
Yeah, I want to get out and do TCAF, so I'm going to come out and see them. I'm thinking like early fall.
Give me a heads up.
Okay.
We'll meet you. I have this like life mission to eat at all of the best omakase joints in New York City. And I'm doing a hell of a job. I actually got reservations on Thursday, having a little omakase in Midtown with some friends of ours. I'll share some pics maybe. We'll see. I'll actually be on the Compound and Friends with Josh and Batnick this Thursday.
Oh, nice. Awesome. Oh, that's good. Everybody tune in for that.
Looking forward to that. Mr. Antonelli, thank you so much. Where to find him, where to read his notes are in the description in the show notes. Check it out.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. How great was that? How great was that?
Pretty great.
Love a lot of what he said. I watch the news all day, though. It's on right now.
Oh, that's like criminal, dude.
No, not if you know what to do with it. Gotta know what's happening. Dude, sometimes these stocks that we're trading, these growth stocks, are up 10% midday because an announcement came out that the CEO is going to be on Kramer that afternoon. I need to know if that's why the stock is moving. So it's all like
that does happen. That still happens, believe it or not. When they say that the CEO is going to be on Mad Money,
he's still doing that show.
They say the CEO is going to be on Mad Money in 6 hours, 7 hours from now.
Is that show really still on?
I know that the second it happens. So that's the kind of news I'm here for.
Dude, I remember I used to watch that when I was like 20, 23.
Josh will go on the halftime show still today. Talk up a stock, right? And thing will start ripping, popping 5% midday.
We gotta have Josh.
5%'s a lot, but yes.
Is it illegal for him to tell us before he does that? I think it is, right?
We like all the same stuff anyway.
Yeah. Well, he reads our research, so
dude, he's been on Toast lately, Coupon.
Now, Josh will be the first to tell you he reads all our shit. Like he's not. Pick. And he gives us credit, right? He'll give you a shout out. He'll give me a shout out. You know, he gives us credit. He's reading. Yeah. Dude, who do you think taught Josh technical analysis? Come on.
I love it because he's the only guy on there who will talk about the trend. And it's
because I've been yelling at him for decades already.
It's really good.
We'll get him on. We'll get him on. I'll be with those guys on Thursday. Actually, Strazza coming through, flying into New York City on Thursday as well.
I'll be there.
You're missing the sushi lunch. But you'll be there for Korean barbecue after.
Yeah, I will be. I should get in around like 3 o'clock. What time are you guys recording?
I think 3 o'clock.
Cool.
So somebody was saying how JC spent the first 30 minutes of the show being a dick.
Yeah.
And now he's preaching about people being a dick. No, I wasn't being a dick. I am just reiterating. It's not that I'm smarter than everybody else. I think I'm just slightly less stupid. I think is really what it is, which is really all you need. And that really compounds over time. So it's not about like, oh, funny, haha, you suck. And no. It's about reiterating that there are humans out there making poor choices. And that's not going to go away. That's here to stay. If there's one thing we know about humans is that they're going to make poor choices and irrational decisions when their stress levels are elevated. And that's not going to change. So if we know that, it's our job as investors to take advantage of that for our own selfish profits. So it's not like, oh, funny, haha, you suck, you're dumb, you're stupid. No. It's, hey, there are people who suck and are dumb and are stupid, and there always will be. And if we're not taking advantage of that, then what the hell are we doing?
You know what? It was nice to hear Michael say the same thing, but in like a kind of a less dickish way.
Well, he's like in the Midwest, so he's like super nice.
He said the same thing, but just much nicer, which is that like, why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? If not to make money, right?
JC could probably be a little softer in his delivery.
But where's the fun in that, right?
Number one, what's the fun in that? Number two, like I'm not gonna like change my life because there's a couple of Karens that don't like that I'm taking advantage of stupid people. Like if you're a Karen out there, like you're in the wrong place, man. We're here to have fun and make money, and if you're not, like you're in the wrong place.
All right.
So let me read something from the chat. Ovabone says, Chef, you're lucky to be starting here. You'll learn more watching this every morning than going to business school. I'm not hating on business school. Business school is great. In fact, I loved business school so much, I just kept going back. I couldn't get enough of it. I went and did an MBA. I wanted more business school because they teach you the theory and the principles and everything sounds so good and it makes sense and supply and demand. And then you fucking get to the real world. And it's like, what is going on out here? Crazy town. And then the real learning begins. But if you have that background, right, of the principles and the theories, then you can make so much more sense of it once you're actually in it. Okay. So it will take time, but that's what we're on here talking about every day. We're not talking about what they teach you in the chapters. We're not talking about Black-Scholes options pricing models. We're telling you, hey, the Greeks probably don't matter the way we're doing this, right? We're telling you the truth about all this shit. But if you have the business school education, it'll make more sense to you. You'll kind of have that framework already there, and you'll be really far ahead of the rest, I think. So it's not bad for business school. It's just we're talking about the real world here. So it's very different from what you'll get in a classroom.
Well, let's bring on someone who not too long ago was in school.
Love it.
And now he's in the real world, and he's in our world. And got some charts. Did he
Bring him out.
I hope he did. Sam, you here? Cool.
Sammy.
Sam.
Yo, what's happening, guys?
What's up?
Hey, buddy.
Sam, were you in business school? I don't remember.
Yeah, right.
I did not get a master's degree, no. Speaking of school, though, I went to Wichita State yesterday. My little brother, this was going to be my recess, but he was playing baseball on the Wichita State field. So that was super cool to see.
Not
They got
for the
second
team,
place.
just playing on the field.
Say that again?
Is he on the Wichita State team, or is
No, he's still in high school. It was
That's
a little
cool.
summer tournament. They made it to the championship, though, so that was cool. And I don't know if you saw this over the weekend. Mr. Fred Van Vliet, one of the greatest Shocker basketball players of all time, is now the president of the NBA Players Association.
Shockers. When I was growing up, shocker meant something else.
All right, moving on with that.
Hold on. No, hold on. I like this, Spencer. Sam, how long have you been out of college? 2 years?
A little bit less than that, but
Okay.
close.
And did you do business for undergrad? Or no?
Yeah, finance.
Okay.
specifically.
So now,
Same thing.
Okay, great. Yeah, same thing. So 2 years out, everything you learned in your 4 years of school, or the 2 years actually in the real world, what has made all the difference? Where's the learning occurred?
It's been all with you guys and the CMT curriculum. I'm a technical analyst, so that was a huge value add for me. I learned more with that than I did throughout my entire college experience. But I think the network is really the most valuable part of my education. You know, Wichita State is funded heavily by Koch Industries, one of the largest companies in the world. Charles Koch, you know, they're very involved in the commodities markets, and I learned a lot from the traders at Koch about trading commodities and the spreads and all of that. So that was super valuable. That was probably the best thing from college. But yeah, I'm not out here. I learned a lot about like discounted cash flows and things like that. I'm not discounting cash flows out here. You know, I'm looking at the charts. I'll look at like fundamentals. Don't get me wrong, but I'm certainly not buying a stock because I think it's undervalued based on my discounted cash flow model.
This is like the most exciting time where you are. This is where all the important learning really occurs, because you get out of college, you just learned everything. You're so book smart, right? And you're in that like I know everything mode. And you got to go from I know everything to I know nothing to get to the growth of I know what I don't know, and that's cool, right? And that, like, some people do that a lot faster. I feel like you're just speeding right through this process. Now, you're out of college, you're right into it, right into the mix. You figured out, okay, maybe all that college stuff, maybe it wasn't so good. Maybe I don't know so much. And now you're just like, you're in there, you're figuring it out. I feel like you're just like 10 years ahead of most people. So
I like to think so, yeah. And
so good.
Shout out to ChatGPT. You know, such an equalizer. Like I can do anything in the world. I can create any software I want to. You name it, I can do it with ChatGPT. I think that is super underrated, and school is super overrated.
ChatGPT, I swear to God, just decorated my whole living room.
It can do anything, Steve.
Dude, ChatGPT convinced me to not add 3 bedrooms to our lake house. Actually,
Awesome. So good, dude.
I was
dad's
trying to
using
price it out. I was like, how much? Yeah, we'll do 1 bedroom. We'll convert the garage. We don't need another 2.
I was telling my dad about it this weekend. He goes, "Yeah, I use it to write emails." I'm like, "That's sick, dude." Yeah.
Yeah, and subject lines as well. You know, why do you think my subject lines are so good? That's
You know,
the
I
little
gotta
machines.
start doing that. I don't like to give away my creativity.
Oh, I don't care. People know I'm not that creative. No, what I do is I'll put in the chat GPT, I'll be like, please write me 5 clever subject lines for this blog post, colon, and then I'll paste the entire blog post, enter, and then it'll give me 5 more. And then I'll be like, no, those suck. Do better. And it'll give me 5 more.
And you could talk to it like that. You could be like,
You
"That's
don't have to be
trash."
nice to the machine.
Yeah, no,
right?
it's like, "That's freaking awful. Try again."
Fake news. You don't
Jesus.
have to say please and thank you. Like none of that. It's all fake news. Like you don't have to be nice to them so when they take over, they remember. Like all that is not true.
Wow. Oh, total 180 on that front, JC.
I was wrong.
Argue
I was
with
wrong.
them.
I said be nice to the machines, and I was, and I was wrong. You could be a dick. It's fine.
Yeah, fuck them. I told you a couple weeks ago, ChatGPT was wrong, and I said, "You're wrong. Go look harder because you didn't find what I'm looking for. It's out there." And then he came back. He's like, "You're right. Found it." Mine's a guy. But that's
Your ChatGPT is a guy.
Yeah, it identifies as male.
Mine is gender neutral.
Yeah, mine's I think probably gender fluid, but male parts.
Yeah.
I use a British accent whenever I talk to my.
Harry.
Also, I want to give a shout out to Speechify. Speechify reads things to you, articles, books, white papers, if you're into that sort of thing. And you know, I particularly, you know, because Speechify, you could choose what voice. Like if you want like a Jamaican guy, Snoop Dogg is another one that you could use to read emails to you. I like Gwyneth Paltrow. She has like such like a soft, like calming voice.
Really nice.
Like you could use Paris Hilton as the voice, but then when she starts talking, I start thinking about other things, you know, if you catch my drift, you know. Gwyneth Paltrow, you know, she, you know, attractive lady, but like not like sex, drugs, and rock and roll, but like more like a calming, you know?
Posh American is I think what you're going for.
Posh American?
Yeah.
I don't think I was going for that, but all right.
I think it's what you're going for. Anyway, Sam, do you have any charts for us?
Okay. I have a lot of charts. Yeah, you want to
we better get to them then.
Well, yeah, I mean,
give us 3 top 3 charts in Sam's world is what I want to know.
Well, let's show 12, 13, 14.
Boom. Is that the amen corner of this morning's deck? Hey, so what I did there, Strazza.
Yeah, so we all know that gold broke out to new all-time highs on March 4th of 2024, and it's been awesome.
I don't think everybody knows that, by the way, Sam.
Well, I think 95% of the people here know that. Not the average Joe, but it's been awesome. And if you look at like the monthly PPO or like the 14-month RSI, momentum on the longest time frames is as stretched as it's ever been. And price is here at the 261.8 extension of that prior base. So I think this is a very, very logical place for gold futures to churn sideways. And Jason and I have been betting that it's not going to crash. Instead, the laggards are going to catch up to the leaders. And that is exactly what we've seen recently. If we can see number 13, this has been a historic move in platinum futures. So can we get that up there?
Throw it up, Charmaster Flex.
There we go. Oh. Yeah, so look at this consolidation and look exactly what happened in the last cycle. It was a very similar symmetrical triangle. And when it broke out, it screamed higher. And that's exactly what we've seen this time. The Bollinger Bandwidth, I also like looking at that on the longer time frames. It's coming out of some of its most compressed levels of all time. So I think platinum futures are just getting started here. I think this probably needs to cool off a little bit here, but this is very constructive. This is what I'm looking for in precious metals. This is a laggard and it's catching up to gold, which is the leader. And we're seeing the same thing in silver, number 14. So silver just broke above the 61.8 retracement of that 2011 to 2020 drawdown. I think silver's heading to 50, and I don't think it's going to stop there. I think it's going to 75, 100. I think we'll probably see triple-digit silver before the end of this precious metal bull cycle.
So by next year, triple-digit silver?
I'd say definitely not on that, but
Definitely not next year.
definitely not. But I think before the end of the decade, I think is
Before the end of the decade is 2025, bro.
yeah. I think it'll take some time, but I think this.
I also don't think I love this chart. This is the greatest cup and handle formation in the history of financial markets, in my humble opinion. But I have a hard time believing that we're just going to rip right through that 50 like it ain't even there. We're talking about the Hunt brothers, cornering the market in 1980. We're talking about the Silver Surfers getting carted off on stretchers after 2010 there. And so, to get back to those levels and not seeing some overhead supply, I think it's going to take some time. That's my initial target, most definitely. Curious how it behaves. It's probably not going to be pretty. It's probably going to be messy. But boy, when silver's making those all-time highs and you see it in the 50s, woo-wee.
So JC, I know you're not a big volume on the x-axis, but if you look at volume on the y-axis, there's not much action up here at $50. You mentioned the Hunt brothers corner. That was a very much a blow off top there, and it was a similar situation in 2011. Very
agreed.
Yep. So not a lot of transactions have taken place up there near $50. So I agree with you that the market's probably going to acknowledge that level, but I honestly don't think it takes longer than a quarter to get through it.
We'll see. I think it takes longer than a quarter.
Dude,
We'll
silver's
I hope
crazy.
I'm wrong, by the way. I would love nothing more than to be wrong on that thesis. I think it takes more than a quarter.
Silver can move. Silver can move.
Silver moves. Yeah, no doubt.
Oh, so Kraft Heinz has this M&A stuff today. They're spinning off their grocery. Interesting. You see that, Spencer?
Yeah, there's been a lot of M&A in the staples food confectionery space of late.
Yeah, didn't Kenvue or Kellogg just do one?
Yeah, there was a headline this morning for that as well. But there was the Post thing from last week. There was Smuckers was doing a thing, right? There's a lot of just M&A in food.
I don't know if you guys have seen this Boeing chart, but Boeing doesn't suck anymore. It's showing a ton of relative strength, and rumor has it they're going to do some spin-offs, maybe some M&A. Who knows? But look at what happened to General Electric whenever they did that. I mean, holy shit, that's been awesome. GE Vernova's been awesome. GE Healthcare, not so good.
Not so great.
Aerospace is also awesome. I think Boeing could be very interesting.
Can we talk about the trannies quick before we hop? Throw up slide 8. You betting against trannies? Come on, look at this thing.
Not for me.
Look at this. You think this one goes down?
Like, if that's what you're into, I'm okay with it. It's just not. It's not for me. Some people, I'm not judging. They're not for me.
Finance folks feast. Here's a good quote. Finance folks feast on consumer staples companies that are boring and sell poison. 100%. Sell away. Make fat Americans fatter. I mean, it's not my problem. If we can sell those stocks at higher prices than where we buy it, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
Here, this is a great chart. Slide number 24, guys.
It's a great chart there, Strazza. You like that?
Everything looks good.
Number 24. This is what's going to happen with transports. A lot of them look like this. This is Canadian Pacific, Kansas City. This is one of the largest railroads in the world. Look at the Bollinger bandwidth here. Record compression. It's just been straight dead sideways for years now. If this ever gets going, it's going to be epic. And I can go through dozens of charts with you that look exactly like this in the transports. So,
of course, the Kansas guy brings up the one company.
This was a merger.
No, it used to be KSU. Anybody else miss KSU? I miss KSU.
So this is what you call a structural coil. John Deere recently resolved one that looked similar to this. You don't tend to see ranges this tight for this long. It's pretty awesome.
GoDaddy is another one. Historic volatility compression. Go back and look at GoDaddy.
Well, wow, what GoDaddy came out of a structural coil just in 23. Yeah. And then look at the reaction out of that pattern.
It that's doubled immediately.
Yeah. And that's what CP looks like now to me.
That GoDaddy reminds me of Tesla. Back like in what, 16? Was that 16?
You know, this is a great example of why you shouldn't think too hard about fundamentals, because we were looking at this range. We were watching the stock years ago, like we saw it. And I just remember thinking to myself, like, I'm not buying GoDaddy. What is that? Like, is that even like seriously? I was like so stupid. I'm like, I don't even care what the chart looks like. I'm not buying GoDaddy. Thought the same thing about Groupon. Thought the same thing about DoorDash. If I think too hard about fundamentals, miss charts. Don't do
Steve
that.
couldn't get those commercials out of his head. That's what he was thinking about. Okay.
Fundamentals, in case
Yeah,
anyone's
terrible.
wondering, and if the market
Don't do
hasn't
that.
proven enough, fundamentals are really just a distraction from what's actually happening in the market. We like to focus more on what's actually happening in the market instead of what your stupid books tells you what should be happening.
People are talking about Uber in the chat here. I was looking at Uber this weekend, and it's 200 billion, and then you have DoorDash, which is 100 billion.
DoorDash.
Well, Uber does a little bit more.
I don't know. It's hard for me to bet on DoorDash.
I've been using the Uber Eats these days because I had never used it, and I used it the other day, and now I
Still
use it
good.
again for some sushi Friday night or Saturday night, whenever.
How was your experience?
It was lovely. It's lovely.
I know.
Yeah, definitely.
Sure it was.
All right. Should we do some recess and
I
hop?
think we should. I think we should.
Alrighty then.
Spencer, you'll like this one. So
Huh?
I have twin Cuban pitchers that I am raising here in my household, right? Two Cuban pitchers. And so if we got two of them, down the block, we got Leo, right? It's a kid of one of our neighbors, lefty.
Huh?
So we got two Cuban pitchers in my house. Down the block, we got a lefty. We get one more arm, it's over. We're going to Little League World Series. I mean, granted, they're only 2 years old still, so we got some time. We have like 7-8 years to find one more arm. It's over.
How do they train?
So I got them running hills right now, right? And then I got them both swinging from the left side because their sister is a natural lefty. So I got both the boys hitting from the left side. Because if you got a lefty batting catcher, you go to any school you want. Like, you hit for average and for power from the left side, and you're a good defensive catcher, literally name the school that you want to go to, and that you could play there, right? So I'm working on that. We got big lefty coming in, and I mean, so things are looking good.
Well, as a fellow lefty, I can appreciate that. But yeah, you're only like an hour or two from Williamsport, so that's like home field advantage for you.
Williamsport is one of the worst places on the planet.
I knew that was
Williamsport, Pennsylvania makes Newark, New Jersey look like paradise.
Newark ain't so bad if you're in certain spots. But
Newark, New Jersey is a horrible place, Spencer. It is.
Depends where you go. Depends where you go.
Dude, Newark, New
I
Jersey
think
is the armpit of America.
Okay.
Oh, don't go there.
Kind of like Jersey. It's really cool, JC, that you get to coach both their teams, but only have to coach one team to do it. Just think, you know what I mean? You get to really double dip like that.
That's like a leveraged ETF, right? You get
you're 2x long.
So there you go.
That's great.
Okay.
Okay. Can I do mine?
Yes.
Tesla's penis-shaped robo-taxi expansion illustrates how unserious this business is. I got two things on this. Throw it up. It's in the slide deck. This was an article from Electrek this morning. First of all,
oh, that's pretty funny.
This is hilarious. Okay, but second of all, it's real, and Electrek is right. It's ridiculous, and it's probably time for Elon to go.
But what did he say? He said getting longer and uncut, something like that. He said,
Dude, this
bigger.
man
Here it is. Bigger, longer, and uncut was his exact.
Guys, Elon Musk still hasn't come out of the K-hole he got stuck in at the White House. He's still stuck in the K-hole. What Tesla should do right now is push him out and find an operator. God. Elon has done what Elon needed to do for this business. Bring in a Tim Cook now. Seriously, the innovating is over. He doesn't need to be there. He's only hurting. The inventions have been made. Bring somebody else in to operate.
Hey, isn't Tim Cook's number 2 leaving Apple? He should just go move to Tesla. Just go right over. Yeah.
Imagine being short MicroStrategy. What kind of psychopath you need to be?
Who's short besides Jim Chanos?
Speculators have the largest short position of all time.
That's so funny.
Just short shares of
Futures.
MicroStrategy?
Futures of Bitcoin.
Oh.
MicroStrategy. What's the
short
short
interest
interest
like?
there?
Is it anything? No, right? Nobody's even shorting this thing right now.
I'll tell you right now. Let's see.
I'm guessing it's like 15.
It's at the
No,
lowest level of
Which
the
is lower.
cycle. It's at 9%.
9.
Yeah, these short sellers are getting the shit kicked out of them.
There aren't many of them. Be careful out there. Kodak.
You're looking at
Eastern
23 million
Kodak.
shares short. Yeah, 9%.
I got a new runner that I'm super interested in. Loaded up the boat Friday on the VWAP recapture and the last week on a little Thursday and Friday. This is Eastman Kodak. Used to be a Dow stock, JC. KODK.
Familiar.
Unusual options activity hitting the tape as soon as the market opened this morning. Look out for this one. I think you're going to have a runner on your hands.
We have a runner.
Oh,
Right.
and Rocket Lab is out here doing the ASTS and nobody's talking about it.
Rocket Lab.
You just did. Sam, I don't really have anything. Sam, you got anything?
Yeah, I bought a new laptop this weekend, and
Ooh, me too.
man, those NVIDIA GPUs really set you back these days. I think I spent $2,000 alone on the NVIDIA GPU.
Damn. I don't even know what a GPU is. It sounds like I need one.
Chip.
You-
Computer
I think
Oh, a
you're-
GPU is a type of chip?
unit.
I would not have guessed that. Shout out to the GPUs.
All right. It's Monday. We got chart requests live. Sam, are you on? You're on today, right?
I'm on today. Yeah.
All right, 1 o'clock Eastern time, right here on the channel. Email your requests to questions at stockmarketmedia.com. We see you there at 1 o'clock. No Kenny today. He'll be back tomorrow. And that's what I got. Members of AAC Gold Rush will get your weekly video.
It's going to be a good one, Spencer. There's a
It
lot
always
happening
is.
right now.
It always is. Go make money, I guess.
Do it. Shout out State of New Jersey. State of New Jersey. Underrated. Newark. Stay away. Terrible place.
Bye, guys.
Later.
Run it. I can't take no loss. I don't even know what it